So I think this year's stats show that about 80%
Yeah.
of our clients have been referred from existing or previous clients.
Right.
If I mean, we went through before the kind of list of things that we ideally wanted to be for clients. What do you think that still sets us apart?
I do. The sort of, obviously, you get little sound bites that you give to most clients on most first appointments and initial consultations. And the first thing that I say to them is, we are in a very discretionary world, being family law in England and Wales. But I said the only guarantee that I can make in this very discretionary world is that I will never advise them to do something which I believe is disproportionate to what they're trying to achieve. And that's not just financial, it's all to do with the emotional fallout and everything else as well. So I think that sort of sets us apart. And again, I have to say, without criticising anybody in particular in the marketplace, because you have more private equity coming in, more pressure on individual targets, on team targets. You and I know of several law firms where they get a call, whether it's a cold call or whether it's a referral, because a lot of people spend a lot of money on search engine optimization and Google hits and all the rest of it. We don't do any of that. But when those people get those calls in, their screen effectively is a traffic light system, and they need to convert that cold call and therefore get a green light as opposed to a red light. That's not a lawyer for me, that's a salesman. And I am very worried, just as a person in this profession, that we are competing with salesmen. And I think one of the things on the post-it note you referred to was robust advice. If there's £2 million in the case and 1.5 million is tied up in a house, the house needs to be sold. But you need to be firm with people right at the beginning. And you talked about sort of when you get sort of little buzzes of pride. Perversely, it's when you see a client, the client is comparing me or beauty parading me against a yes person, a yes man, a yes woman, and then they end up coming back with the tail between their legs about a year later, and it's just been a complete disaster. Yeah. And now obviously we're not dealing with a blank piece of paper then, but we do what we can to help them. So I do think that sort of sets us apart. The excellence sets us apart, but I also think that sort of robust advice to say, this is what I think. Because if you think about you and I alone getting on for 50 years in the sort of in the marketplace, so you get that sort of, and because when we're still on the tools now, we're still working on cases now. I think that you always need to do that, because you always need that touch feel to be able to say, this is what I think, this is my instinct. There's a lot to do within the case, but I think actually it's that initial view that they welcome. And again, it's where we're placing ourselves in the market. We are not the most, we're not the cheapest, but I think we're the best value.